Good evening, everyone. All the participants who are here on a wonderful but humid evening. Probably we have had the third highest rainfall in the month of June for the past 10 years. So we are here normally as our annual event that we have, that is for counseling the students who have either taken admission or who are almost on the verge of taking admission, sitting on the fence, so to say. We are here to guide you to answer all your questions. After, of course, we have a brief session of explaining to you an upcoming field, a professional field of interior design. That is basically interior design, but we'll also take up questions if you have any about the other two programs that the Amity School of Architecture and Planning, Amity University, Maharashtra has to offer from this wonderful campus that is just off the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. So we'll be answering all queries related to you regarding the architecture, 5-year architecture program that we offer, the 4-year Bachelor of Interior Design program that we offer, and also the 4-year Bachelor of Planning program that we run here from ASAP, as we fondly call it. So we will be answering all your queries, but first let us go over to Professor Rajendra Tamane. He'll be talking to you regarding the options that are available to you after you do your graduation, and a little bit about the academics that you would be facing when you join Amity. He will also be assisted by Professor Anuradha Kapadia and, of course, Professor Isha Desai, two of our faculty members, two senior faculty members and practicing faculty members of ASAP Amity University. Apart from that, what we have today on our event is will be also showcasing the work done by our students group. We have recently had a collaborative design studio with Amity University, Chhattisgarh. That is the advantage that we have, since we have a number of Amities in India and abroad. We also have collaborative studios with the other Amity students. So since this was online, we did not have to go there personally, but the students did a wonderful job. So we are going to showcase that as well. And if time permits, let's say we have one of our alumni who is now into private practice. We just had one batch pass out that had passed out last year. So a student from that batch has also started her own independent practice. So she'll be here. She's a little busy, but she should be available by the time we finish. So she'll be sharing her portfolio and talking about her experiences, both academic and in her internship, as well as what is she doing as of now. We'll take up all your questions at the end of the session, or you can type your questions in the chat box that is available. It's over to Professor Rajendra Tamane to take it from here. Tamane, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll briefly introduce myself. I am Professor Rajendra Tamane. I am an architect by profession. I graduated from Sir J.J. College of Architecture in the year 1984. Along with Shirodkar sir, we were classmates, and also Anuradha ma'am. We were 3 classmates of that batch, passed out in 1984. Okay. So basically, I'm an architect, but for now, after a long career of an initial job and then a long career of practice of more than 30 years. Last 5 years, I'm in academics. Yeah, so here, this will be a very interesting afternoon where we are going to run you through this field of interior design and all the aspects of it. So that you will be very much aware of this as a career. What are the things involved, what you will be doing, whether it is suitable for you or not. All these things are there. And so let us begin with the very basic question that why interior design? You know, there are so many courses available all along in this world. So why interior design? So here there are 3 points which I would like to emphasize. Why interior design is, first of all, this field is for a very creative mind. So if you are looking for a creative field and you have talents and you feel that creative fields, your creative talent should be utilized, then you are at the right place. This is a creative field because it involves, along with a lot of aesthetical sense, it will also involve use of paintings, graffiti, sculptures also, which will be integrated in your interior design. So you will be surrounded by all things which are creative, even though you are not a painter or even if you're not a sculptor, but you will be selecting painting, you will be selecting sculpture, you'll be selecting graffiti whenever it is required on your site. So it is you need to have a general good knowledge about all this. So it's basically I can say that it is an integration of science and art, both the things, because as per art, I already told you, it's about aesthetical things and all that, but science is also important because there are certain subjects which are technical subjects. For example, there are, when you actually make a site, then there are certain things which are involved, which will involve technical aspects like working drawings you have to make. Then there is something called material technology, material construction technology. Then there are certain things like you have to have knowledge about air conditioning, then the electrification, then the plumbing, sanitation. All these things are technical aspects which are you need to know, because then these are some technical aspects which are always there on site and you cannot avoid or go away from them. We have to use that knowledge plus your skill of aesthetics, and then the site becomes very nice and good. So this first thing I said is creative field, and then second thing is growing demand. You see, today there are so many, you must have seen buildings coming up, isn't it? Wherever you go, you will see a lot of construction going on, commercial, residential, so much construction going on. And just imagine all this construction, no, inside, they ultimately, most of them, not all, but many of them need an interior designer to do the interiors of this. Once they are occupied or before they occupy the structure, they need an interior designer to do the interior part, like furniture, civil, electrification and all that. So unless and until it is done, they don't move in generally. So it's a growing demand, and that growing demand is so great that you will never have shortage of work. That is a beautiful aspect of this field, where there is saturation in many of the fields today, but interior design is such a field that it will never get saturated. You will always have work. The another important point is financial growth. You can earn a lot. You can earn a lot as an interior designer. It all depends upon your capacity. Less the capacity, less earning. More the capacity, more earning. Totally, it is reciprocal to your efforts and your talents. So there is no limit. Absolutely, there is no limit to your financial growth. So that is also a very good aspect of interior design. Now, so this is the part which we saw, that why interior design, right? One chapter. Now the next chapter is, what does the interior designer do actually? So what does the interior designer has to deliver actually? So if I put it in a very brief terms, interior designer will start designing. First of all, he has to design the place, make use of optimum spaces, avoid clutter, make spaces interesting, make life easier. Then for that, you need to do drawings, obviously. So the drawings are such that they are to be understood by client. They will be understood by the contractor, so that your imagination can be reproduced on the site as a reality. Along with drawings, there is 3D modeling. So earlier 3D modeling was not done when the computers were not done there. modeling, actual hard models were there earlier, but now since there are so many computers, so many softwares available, so 3D modeling is a very important part where you can actually put your ideas in the computer, generate 3D modeling of all rooms which are there. You can put exact materials which you want to show the client, and you can make a walkthrough also. That means actually when before you actually construct on the site, you can actually show the client how the office is going to look or how the residence is going to look before even you touch the site on a computer. You can actually make the client go through the rooms one by one. Like you must have seen computer games, isn't it? In computer games, how you move inside the rooms and play games. Similarly, you can actually create a walkthrough of your own designs of all completely done on your software and give the client an MP4 file. That is a movie file which he can see, and he can actually experience that he is actually visiting all the rooms and all that. So it becomes easier for you also and the client also to come on the same page, whether what you are having in your imagination, whether it is the same in the client's imagination or is it different. And if it is different, then you got a chance to again rectify it before you actually start the site. So that involves lot of situations where you have something made on the site and then client doesn't like it. So such things do not happen because virtually you actually show your ideas to the client initially itself. So that is there. So then what is, as a career, interior designer also needs knowledge of materials. There are so many new materials coming up in the market. You must have seen the tiles which are there, or the veneer which is there on the wardrobe, or the false ceilings which are there in the restaurant. You must have seen in hotels, very nice walls fit, false ceiling is there, light fittings are there. So you have to have the knowledge of all this, where it is available, what is the cost, which is better, which is not better. So all deep study of materials is very important. And for that, we usually encourage our students to visit exhibitions like Index and Estec exhibition, which are held once every year. One is held in Bandra, one is held in Goregaon normally. So we normally take a bus and take our students over there, to see, particularly see these exhibitions, because all the earlier and new materials are introduced in that exhibition. So that is one part as a career. Then to achieve this, you need a skill set, right? So what is the skill set that you need? The skill set that you need is aesthetical sense, first of all, aesthetical sense. So our program is designed in such a way that there are subjects which will develop your aesthetical sense. You already have that sense, but then it has to be developed, so that there are some very nice subjects which will develop your aesthetical sense, like BDVA, basic design. And then another important part, you will be taught softwares. You need to learn latest softwares which are there in the market, which is there in the industry. Latest softwares like AutoCAD, Photoshop, CorelDRAW, SketchUp, Revit, etc. So when you have learned these softwares, all these softwares are practiced not just in India but abroad also. So suppose in future you want to go for masters in some different country, the same software will be useful. It is not that they are using some different software, right? What they are using, that exactly we are actually learning here. So that is there. And one more very important thing that has come in the market now, and that is 3D printing. Right now, still, many of the students are making models in mount board or sun board. Manually, they are making. But a time will come, and that time will come very soon. Very soon, maybe 1 year or 2 years, where the models, all the interior design and architecture models will be done by 3D. They will be 3D printed. They will not be done by hand. So we have a subject, a 3D printing also, along with AutoCAD, CorelDRAW and all that, 3D printing also. So where right now 3D printing is a little costly if you go outside to print something, but you will be making your own keychain or something, small object, And then you will have the joy of printing your own creation and using it like a keychain. So the whole fundamental is already taught to you. So whenever the 3D becomes economical, you will actually print big models also. Yeah, and until then, of course, the regular conventional model making subject is also there. So you will be making models by using cardboard and sunboard. So there are subjects like, I will run through the PPT afterwards, where I will actually show you what are the subjects which are necessary to learn, like MCT services, working drawing, etc. And of course, interior design, that is the most important subject, right? That is the most prime subject in your curriculum, which is having a lot of credits, and that is interior design, right? That is the most important subjects. Apart from that, there are some subjects like electives, where you learn color psychology, product design, Vastu Shastra. So this helps where, if at all you want to diversify anytime in future with the subject you like product design. So that also the fundamentally you are prepared for it. So this is the small this thing, things which normally people ask everybody. Now, I would like to show you a PPT later on, where all these things are shown in detail, like all the subjects are shown in detail, which are there. But before that, let us focus on our topic today. That is how you are ready for academics and industry. So the thing is that once you go through all this routine, and your aesthetical sense is developed, your technical skills are sharpened, your software skills are sharpened, then you are ready for the industry, you can say. And then after the 7 semester, you have to go to a practice internship, where for 90 days you have to practice in an office, any interior designers or architect's office, where you actually work on the real projects. And then in those 90 days, you actually very much work with the real professionals, and then you blend with them in that professional practice period. And then later on, what happens is that most of the time, if you are gelling well in that office, in most of the cases, that office will itself appoint you further. After you complete that last semester, they will call you back again to join as a interior designer in the same office, if everything goes well. So this is the process. And once you are in the office, the major difference shift changes. The major shift changes is that initially in college, you are paying fees and learning. And when you are in the office, they are paying you salary and you are delivering, right? That means whatever you have learned in college, you are using that all skill sets, and actually you are delivering in the office. So that time, of course, you will be learning gradually. Learning never stops. You will be learning with the actual projects, but you have to remember that that is not a college, because that is a place where you are actually giving your services. So that is not a college when you join the job. So that makes a very great shift of difference from college to office, that here you are learning and there you are delivering. So once you start working, of course, your seniors over there will always guide you. They will always teach you. And then I would rather say maybe about from 1 to 3 years, experience is very much required in the office. That depends on the person, whether it's 1 year or 2 year or 3 year, it depends on you. And after that, you can actually start your own practice. As I said earlier, there is a lot of jobs available as an interior designer. The market is full of jobs. And then you can actually start your office as a consultant interior designer. So this is the thing, the whole this thing. Now, I guess I would like to invite Anuradha ma'am. She would talk about something about career and some interesting things. Yeah. Anuradha ma'am, would you like to continue now?
Yeah, Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this session of introduction to interior design, introduction to Amity for all participants here. A small introduction of myself. I am Anuradha Kapadia, architect by profession, architect and interior designer, and having done all my own practice for last 36 years. For last 10 years, parallelly, I am also in academics because academics is a passion. So I'm associated with Amity University for last 5 years. Rajendra sir explained in brief as to what interior design means. What is it as a profession? How is it as a profession? How is it as a career? Different avenues he mentioned in brief. I'm here to just elaborate a bit on those different avenues that you can choose once you do this course. Obviously, the first and foremost is that you work as an interior designer in some office. And next stage, maybe, that you start your own practice, work on your own projects as interior designers. Because as Rajendra sir rightly put it, today in India is on the threshold of booming industry, and interior design is booming because as we know, all around us, construction industry is booming. There are a lot of new constructions coming up, and everywhere there is a scope for an interior designer to step in. And why interior designer to step in nowadays? Because if today if you notice, there is a significant shift in the lifestyle of people, and people do like to, they're looking for more and more aesthetical lifestyle, and that aesthetical lifestyle does not only remain restricted to their homes. They do want to see aesthetical lifestyle all around them. That lifestyle encompasses all the other experiences. Like if you go to a good shop, you feel, you go for a shopping and you want to step into a shop which has a good ambience. You are sure of seeing some good stuff sitting in a good ambience. That ambience is something in the retail industry which is all thanks to interior designers. Similarly, you go to a restaurant and you want to step in a good looking restaurant. In addition to good food, what you look for is a good ambience. And again, that ambience is thanks to an interior designer. So that is where, when this lifestyle shift has come in, interior design industry is also booming up. And there is a lot of scope for interior designers to create different careers. And when I say different careers, what I'm trying to tell you here is that career as an interior designer does not limit you to just practice interior designing. It opens up different branches of career, and they are equally lucrative and equally interesting and good. Like people are working as color consultants. Good multinational companies like Asian Paints, they engage the services of color consultants, which are actually by qualification interior designers, because they have learned through the rigors of 4 years the color theory, color psychology, effect of colors on the psychology of people. So that is where color consultancy has become a trend today. Similarly, people work as with good production houses. People are working as set designers. With the advent of digital media, set designing also has taken a leap, and interior designers are working with good production houses as set designers. They're working as lighting consultants, because lighting industry has over the years seen a tremendous change from a small yellow color bulb to the LED lighting that we see today. There is a tremendous growth in lighting industry, and interior designers are working as, lighting consultants. Another big avenue that is now opened up with today's lifestyle is modular furniture. And now you all know giants in modular furniture like IKEA coming in India. That's another sector which has opened up for interior designers for furniture designing in a modular way, wherein you have modular kitchens coming in, you have all the household furniture as modular furniture that has come in. You also have office furniture that has come in as coming in as a modular furniture. And there is a tremendous scope for designers in a modular furniture industry. So as you can see that this one course opens up so many other avenues which are related to design, related to a very, very creative field, where the basic foundation of the knowledge, the basic is interior design. And from there you grow, and you grow into this all different beautiful creative branches, and you can make a career in these specialized fields. Another aspect that I would just like to discuss here in a brief, because I'm sure Professor Rajendra is going to be discussing that in detail with you again, as to, I'm sure when you people are interested in pursuing interior design as a career, you are looking for options, and you have chosen Amity to apply to Amity University, to take admission to Amity University after doing a lot of background research. Still, I would just like to kind of reiterate the USP of Amity University here. And that is, this course that you are looking at is a 4-year professional degree course, which makes a lot of difference. Because a professional degree course opens up further avenues of work in India as well as abroad. It also opens up further avenues of doing post-graduation directly in India or abroad, because you complete a 4-year degree course, which is very important. In addition to that, as Rajendra sir would explain further in detail, we have here certain minor tracks, certain foreign, you learn electives, you learn minor tracks like photography, animation. You have a choice to choose any of them to learn as an additional qualification, as a minor track. So what we're talking about here is a holistic development of a professional. That gives you an edge. When you start out in the market. So I'm sure you would love to be associated with us, and you would love to, get engaged into this 4-year course along with us. Rajendra sir, you can continue from here.
I would now request Isha Desai ma'am to brief us about the collaborative workshop that we conducted with Amity University, Raipur, so that the students can have something interesting to look at as well. Brief them about the background that we had, and then I would request our student, one of our students, Srishti Savre, to project whatever the work that they had done. Yeah, Isha.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll just give a brief introduction about myself. This is Isha Desai here. I'm an interior designer, and I have been pursuing my passion of designing from the last 13 years. And it's been great to be a part of this industry wherein your passion, your hobby, your profession is something that gives you happiness. And for pursuing your hobby, you are getting paid for it. So nothing less than that. Uh, so I just wanted to, first of all, before let me make it a little calmful for the students, the aspiring designers, the young budding talents. Years back when I also was looking out for, pursuing a career into designing, I thought of various colleges. I thought of various, I had n number of questions into my mind, not only with respect to the colleges, but also with respect to, am I choosing the right field? Is this field my cup of tea, or will I be able to deliver? Will I be able to nail it? If I start the journey, will I be able to nail it to the end? What kind of output is expected? What do I need in order to be a good interior designer? There are n number of questions. It's like, just the sparrows flying all around your head. And to answer these questions, to get these answers at that point of time, I mean, I'm talking about decades back. So I myself, went over to the students and, I asked them, what's the work that you exactly do? What's the output? I myself had a look into that. And it is then when I saw the work and I just felt mesmerized with that entire process of designing. When the students, the existing academic students, told me about what exactly the field is all about. So here today, I just want to help you in that similar way. Just because of the corona, due to the lockdown, since we cannot meet in person, I think the best thing would be the student themselves showing their work, themselves coming over and talking about the work that they did. The journey as an interior designer right from the start, as of now till the time they are in college. And we also have our alumni who are going to give their own experience. They are going to share their experiences with you in order to understand what exactly is this field about. So without wasting much of a time, I would also like to emphasize on some 2-3 other pointers. um, yeah there are quite a few people who have, questioned me about learning design program digitally. They had their own some skeptical mind about that. But believe me, the students who are going to present right now, they're the second year students. They have done their first year and second year of interior design course in MET digitally, and they were very well able to complete it and learn and have a great time with us. We at MET strive to deliver things to the students in such a way that it's not more of a, kind of a army or a discipline kind of a session. It's a creative field. We as faculties also have a challenge to make sure that we, in that process of teaching you, make it a fun and an enjoyable experience for you guys, which at the end, uh, these are the memories which you'll carry with you guys years later, and you'll recall those memories, which are a wonderful part of your college life. So yes, without much delay, I would like to invite the second year students to share their experiences, and they are going to share some of the work that they did as a part of the collaborative studio. Now, what was a collaborative studio? I'll just, in maybe just a few 2-3 liners, I'll just explain you what was the collaborative studio. Yes, as we told you, that we try to make sure the teachings that we give, the process of learning interior design, we try to make it an interesting one. So one of those efforts was this collaborative studio, wherein the students, the second year students of which is Amity University Mumbai and Amity University Chhattisgarh, worked jointly in groups of 4 and on a given design assignment. And they were expected to deliver the work simultaneously along with the academic year going on. But it was a fun time that they had. I will just briefly tell you the hurdles that they faced, but they learned how to overcome those hurdles also. These collaborative studios helped them brainstorm with their team members, not only the brainstorming, the exploration of n number of possibilities of design, not only with their team members, but also various faculties of both the units of Amity. That's a plus that Amity has. Amity has its stronghold all over. It has a global hold. So interacting globally, interacting nationally with other institutes of Amity is quite a possibility with Amity. So we had a collaborative session wherein students learned how to overcome hurdles like time, place, time, because people over there, they might be having some electricity issues, or maybe they might have some climate rain or any other issues. Distance, having distances would become difficult for you to do a group discussion. But then yes, with times we are also changing and we are adapting the new normal. So yes, they did overcome all these hurdles and they did emerge as winners. At the end, they felt yes that they have done something meaningful in that time period, even though they were locked in their houses. So it was a fun journey. It was a very refreshing treat for the students. In spite of having differences of opinion, they learned how to work in teams. You know, one student sitting there in Raipur, one student sitting here in Mumbai, everybody brainstorming, having their own set of differences of opinion, and then coming out and, juggling out and settling down to one design, which is going to be the best. So it overall helps come out with a good personality as well, and it is going to help you develop, evolve how to work in a team. So we have many such activities which we keep on having along with our academic sessions, which help not only the person grow as a designer, but also grow as a good team member. As you know, interior design is not something which an individual can finish off. You need a team of good contractors, you need a team of good bunch of workers, carpenters, skilled laborers, you need a good team of vendors, and the 10 number of things and number of things that are required. So it's always a teamwork. So we try to get that touch of professional experience through our academic years. So yeah, without further delay, I would like to invite one of the group to share their designs and the experiences of collaborative studio. The name of the team members are Srishti Chavre, Pranali Fate, Afzal Khan, and Karamjeet Paul. Srishti, over to you. You can take over. You can share your experiences.
Yes, ma'am.
Srishti?
Yeah, ma'am. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with my presentation first.
Yeah, before you start, you can just give a brief intro about your group.
Okay, yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to share my personal experience about the last collaborative workshop we have done in last semester. So, we were basically asked
Just a
to
minute, Srishti.
design.
Srishti, I think you have you logged in from two devices. Will you just switch off the speaker on the other device? Because we can hear an echo.
So, yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to share my personal experience of collaborative studio with all. So, last semester, we were asked to design a cafe in a shipping container. The motive was to introduce a aspect functionality in a small space, which focuses on the requirement of the cafe. So, it was something we did for the first time with Amity University Chhattisgarh. We learned many techniques to work together, even if we were far apart. And choosing the perfect ideas and different perspectives were not easy, but then we managed to sort the things, and then we used to take reviews from our faculties of our work, and then their suggestions and their rectifications were really helpful for us. and we learned a lot. It was the first time we were able to design a sustainable project, and the design came out really good. So now I would like to share my group project to you all.
Go ahead with the next slide.
Just for the students, the
Good
aspiring
afternoon, everyone.
designer,
Myself Srishti Savri.
Srishti
I'll be
and
presenting our container cafe design on behalf of my group. This is the site plan which has been given to us. The triangular highlighted part is the site Kala Ghoda Square, which is in Mumbai. The Kala Ghoda was formed on 30th October 1998 with the object of maintaining and preserving the heritage and art district of South Mumbai by various art galleries, patrons, and concerned citizens with the object of maintaining and preserving the heritage of art district in South Mumbai. Site study. So the area starts from southern end of Mahatma Gandhi Road up to Bombay University in the northern end, flanked by Oval Maidan to the west and Lion Gate to the east. The area is a cultural hub and surrounded by different institutes like Jahangir Art Gallery, Bombay University, National Gallery of Modern Arts, and etc. Components of container. This is the basic exploded view of containers, which have roof, side wall, top and bottom rail, flooring, and door, followed by one detailed exploded view of container, which is having insulation technique. Methods for joining and fixing of two containers. First is bolting and another one is twist locks. As we were instructed that containers should not be placed directly on the ground, so we have thought of using MS beam framework to raise a container up to plus 150 mm level. On the frame, we are going to place plywood planks which will be used as a deck for the further areas. Cutting methods. Plasma cutter will be used to cut side panels, circular saw will be used to cut flooring, and angular grinder will be used to cut top and bottom rail. These are some anthropometric data to study the proper circulation and working of the cafe. First is sitting zone. Second, for mocktail counters and their heights. And for the kitchen counters. So now let's talk about the concept and the design of the cafe. Our concept is D style. What is D style? D style was a circle of Dutch abstract artists who promoted a style of art based on straight geometry and horizontal with vertical lines. The movement strives to express universal concept through elimination, reduction, abstraction, simplification, and a dynamic asymmetrical balance of rectangles, planes, verticals, horizontal, and primary colors with black, white, and gray. Designers formulate a new language of vocabulary to the architecture. What is D-style? D-style was the first ever art genre devoted abstraction in art. Although the movement's artists were not the first to practice abstract in art, but the artists and architects associated with D-style have provided a fundamental composition that completely avoided symmetry. What D-style abstract? D-style advocated a minimum pared-down aesthetic consisting of entirely non-objective form premised mainly upon the most basic visual elements, horizontal, vertical, and primary colors. Where did D-style originated from? D-style is originated in Leiden in Netherlands in 1970. Who are the main artists of D-style? D-style was founded by Piet Mondrian and Theo van Doesburg, but also included architect Gerrit Rietveld. So why we chose this style as a concept? As we know, Kala Ghoda Art Festival is all about recreation of all forms of art, abstract and celebrating art literature. So to create awareness or to make this art movement strive again, we chose this topic. Architects and artists like Piet Mondrian and Theo van Doesburg have created a beautiful composition by only using basic forms of art in the nature. And there was a period when this movement was in full-fledged, attracted by the people, that they started doing the interiors and making furnitures with this concept. Final composition. We were given two containers of 40 into 20 feet and single container of 20 into 10 feet. We have placed 40 into 20 feet container, which is red container, and 20 into 10 feet container, which is yellow container, at plus 150 level. As per instructed that the container should not be placed on the ground, and the another container, which is blue container, is placed at plus 2436 level, which is above on the red and yellow container. In this, we tried to depict these style composition by keeping in mind that we only have to play with vertical and horizontal. Here is the area segregation layout as per the design brief provided. Coming to the bubble diagram, as soon as we enter the cafe, there is deck seating outside the cafe and a big 2100 opening for the entrance in the cafe. Walking inside, there is takeaway counter and billing area on the left and some sitting on the right. Beside the staircase, there is opening for going inside the kitchen area, which has the cooking area, preparatory area, washing area and storage. The yellow container on the floor have mocktail plus rolled ice cream counter with staff area which is connected to cooking area. From the staircase, as soon as we go up, there is rooftop sitting area and a small service station. Furniture plan. As per discussed in bubble diagram, deck area is in the front of the cafe. As soon as we enter the cafe, we see takeaway counter and billing counter with some sitting. Beside the staircase, there is cooking area, washing area, storage and preparatory area. In the yellow container, we have placed mocktail counter plus rolled ice cream counter with staff area, and the doors of this yellow container are been opened from the both side and locked at the end. So we got this extra area which has been provided as service area. Here is the door for circulation of staff area directly to the cooking area. As soon as we go up from the staircase, we see sitting area and rooftop sitting area with small service station and a magazine shelf. Coming to the sections. Section A which covers deck area, takeaway counter and billing counter on the ground floor, sitting and rooftop sitting area on the first floor. Section B covers ice cream counter, mocktail counter, then kitchen on the ground floor and sitting area on the first floor. Section C again it covers takeaway counter, sitting space on the ground floor and sitting on the first floor. Section D again covers the same. Coming to the RFC layout, we took minus 150 mm drop from the top rail of the container. Then the ground floor sitting we have provided wooden rafters. We have placed the rafters in such a way that it creates a composition with only three colors, that is red, blue and yellow. Inside the rafters we have used aluminium profile lights. Next in the kitchen, here we have used recessed lights. Then on the first floor, we have used square LED lights with fan in the sitting area, and in the yellow container with ice cream counter and mocktail counter and staff area, we have placed square LED lights with fan. Last but not the least, the material board, which is all about these style. We have decided to recreate a famous furniture of that moment by using alternative materials. The zigzag chair, a sofa sitting made up of reusable material, tables with PVC board and modern style bookshelf. All this required data has been provided on the screen. Here, on behalf of Group 7, I end my presentation. Thank you.
So we also have the other three members of the group. The fourth member was from Amity University, Chhattisgarh. So the other three members of the group are also here. So in case you want to ask any questions to them regarding their experiences, they are all here. So you have a first-hand interaction with the students. You will be having a first-hand interaction with one of our alumni also. So in case you have any issues, any questions, any doubts that you have and you won't like to believe us, you have the students to answer those questions. This was just to give you a background by the time this starts. So this was basically an experiment that we had carried out. We had a collaborative studio physically with Amity University, Chhattisgarh once. But this time, since it was online, we thought that students won't have to spend much. It will be only an online experience. Otherwise, you have to spend in going and coming and staying there and on your fooding and so on. So this was a relatively economical option wherein the students still got the chance to interact and work in a team. That teamwork brings out, that we have found, that brings out the best in you. They come up with, imagine this, the second year students have come up with works like this, with long distance interaction, trying out, initially I think they did find it difficult, no doubt. It was supposed to be a unique experience for them as well. But the final output that we saw was fantastic. These are the technical issues that you have to take care of when you're working online. And the students did do a good job of that as well. The presentation that you just saw was a voiceover, where the students had recorded their voice also so that we keep to the given time limit. Otherwise, when you are presenting it online without a voiceover, it becomes a little difficult. And at times you tend to overshoot the time limit that has been given to you. There was a question in the question box from Mr. Sachin that he missed the session. Is it possible to see it somewhere else? What session did you want? The presentation that you missed, or you missed the entire previous session? We are recording it, so I don't know whether our IT team should be able to address that question. Where and where can you check that out online?
Yes, sir. Shall I start?
Yeah, fine. I was just filling in.
Yeah. So hopefully it is visible. For
No, not yet. I don't know if the others can see it. I can't see it as yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Wait, I'll reshare this one. Yes. Yes, sir. That was the 3D
That
walkthrough of
was
the
very
film.
nice.
Okay.
Sir, I would also like to address the aspiring young designers that this is the walkthrough, the 3D view animation made by them just when they learned 3D views and they just learned the software. So it might be a little raw. There might be some glitches or there might be something here and there, but yes, it was worth the effort as they tried it on. It was their very first experience on making the 3Ds. So I know for sure they are going to go better and better with each day.
Yeah. Shushti, can you unshare your screen, please? Okay. So now I would like to invite one of our alumni. We have Niyanta Mehta with us, whom we had to ask to join at a very short notice, and she willingly accepted. She'll be sharing her experiences about academics, about internships, and whatever she wants to talk to you about. She has recently, in the month of February, started her own firm called Antarrachana, and she's taking up interior projects by herself now. Niyanta, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity to be here. So talking about my experience throughout, it was very much like we had no clue how interior designing would be when we started working into it. So we slowly learned it a lot. Our professors are very helpful to us. Like they always are very supportive. No matter, even if it is the stupidest of the doubt, they'll be there happily solving our doubts. When we are in the college time, what we learn theoretically is way too different than what we do in a practical life. But I would like to say that pay attention on the sheets. Like when we are making the sheets, those sheets are very important. That is something what I have learned throughout in my professional practice as well. After that, those sheets are very important, and the professors might sound a little bit irritating when they're saying that no, you need to do it more detailing into those things, but those detailings are really worthwhile when you step out into the real world. So that is how the academics be. The first year is a little bit easy. Then comes the second year. Second year is a little bit hard because you start learning softwares and things. First year is just all about hand drafting, learning scales, how to use the scale, like, how to convert those big rooms onto a small paper. That is also another type of a skill that we pursue while learning this interior designing or architectural profession. So that is something we learned in the first year, and then we started accommodating those large rooms onto our small computer screens in the second year. And then slowly that way we started making 3D views, we started learning 3D softwares, we started learning how to make walkthroughs and different types of things. So that is how our academics goes. We learn about detailing of every furniture, about materials. We are taken for the site visits of different sites where there's some of the sites where already the work is in progress, so we understand how the work is going on, what comes after what. Like, for example, if there's a kitchen designing that is happening, so from the scratch, what will be the first process when you start a kitchen designing? So first you take the measurements, and then you take you make the plan, and then you start the work on the site. You have to maybe say, like, first of all, break the tiles if they are not going well with your designs. Then you have to break it all, and then you have to start putting up new tiles, and then slowly other steps. So that is how we learn. In the third year we start learning these things, and then comes the fourth year where we have internship. I must say, very lucky enough, the internship which are provided from Amity universities are really worth it. The internship where I got placed from the university internship placement cell was so worth it that I can still do so many things on the basis of that internship done over there. Like, I had learned so much. They were completely professional, and you learn another type of professional level kind of a thing, which is like, how to be out and between the clients, and how do you interact with the clients, how do you sell your designs, and how do you control the workers, manage the workers. So they made us learn all of these things, which is now helpful for me going ahead in the time of my job. Now that I have started my own firm also, it is very helpful for me still. So the internship that are provided from the Amity universities are also very helpful, and they take care that you get what actually makes you grow ahead. The same way goes for even the job opportunities. They provide you the job placements as well from the university. That starts from, like, 2 months before your graduation period is supposed to happen. The job placements starts and everything. So you have to go out for the interviews, and you meet the company CEOs and the HR teams, and then you give your interviews, you show your portfolios. So there's a whole portfolio that your faculties make you prepare from first year to the fourth year ends. That is with the thesis. Now, thesis is something that is important while you go out for a job in the market. So in that, you have to design and create a whole space of your own with your imagination and some practicalities of interior designing as well. So in that, of course, when we have been learning during our thesis periods as well. So our faculties help us learn that as well, that how this thing is gonna happen. Supposedly, I had chosen say a topic like futuristic furniture design. So I was wondering, what if I can make the table stand without any legs or without any hanging from up, and how will that work? So the faculties helped me with, like, yes, we can go for this electromagnetic things, and there are these different types of solutions to these things. So they help you throughout. So this is how from first year to making small drawings and just placing the furniture here and there, to designing and evaluating a whole concept with a lot of technicalities into it, is the whole academic thing that happens in the 4 years of Amity University interior designing. And then we step out into the world of professionalism, That is, we step out doing a job in the market. Of course, our time was pretty tough because when we stepped out, it was Corona everywhere, so it was pretty tough for us to find a job. So later on, slowly, as the lockdown and everything started lifting up, we all got our jobs into, few of the firms, companies, different companies. So I worked for, say, more 6 months in the different companies, and that is how I learned more about it. And then later, I decided to start my own professional practice right now. And that is, I'm doing, it's my own firm named Antarashna Interiors. So I'm taking on different types of projects. I have 3 projects currently going on. And even at this time, if in particular, I need any help, the faculty is always there. Yeah, they're always there to help me out. So for a short term, I would like to, show you how my portfolio was. So I'll show you my portfolio, my design portfolio. So can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
So these are some of my best selected portfolios. And here, these are the SketchUp views that were done in the, say, 3rd year. We were given a pediatric clinic to design, and I had chosen a theme for Transformers because pediatric begins from, say, 4 or 5 years till it goes up in 14, 15 years of kids. So this is something in between that people would love. So I had chosen this type of theme, and I had made such kind of designs. So these are the SketchUp views from that. Then this was a boutique given to us to design. And this is how I had taken the concept sheet of the boutique. So this is how it looked. It was an eco-friendly boutique which I had selected. So all the materials used to design the interior of the boutique were reused from some of the other waste materials in the market, like those you can see here. Those are the waste slate pads which are like not used anymore. So those were used to display purses, and then this wheel was used to make a stand for displaying suits and other things. So such waste products were recycled into good interiors. So those are some of the views from the boutique which I had used. And those are some of the side projects which I was doing when I was learning. So this is one of the residential project that I had done in the Revit because I was learning Revit at that time. So this is the side project from the Revit views. There's a hall. This is the office that I had designed. So this is how it goes. These are the views, a few glimpses of the furnitures from my thesis project, that is futuristic furniture design. So this is how it was made. These are some of the different types of furnitures. So this is the cafeteria for the office that I had chosen to redesign for my thesis project. So this is the cafeteria, and this is the lounge area for them to sit and relax, as it was futuristic. So I had kept it a little brighter side with those colors. And this was an opportunity that I had got from Amity itself in a competition. The competition was revamping the interiors of an office space that was Aranka. So and this is how it was. These are the things, and I had won the competition with one of my partner from my classroom. So these are the views from those competitions. And this is how we draft the plans and the elevations. These are the elevations. This might look a little tough right now, but when you start doing it, it seems pretty easy. So this is electrical layouts, flooring layouts, and this other detailing of the furnitures with everything like what types of grooving and what types of joineries are gonna be used and the materials. And the other staircase details. And this is a furniture that was designed by me. This was made from a smoke pipe thing. Like I had taken the what do you call, like a reference of a smoking pipe which was from the retro era, and I had turned it out into the furniture like this. So I had done all the detailing as well for that. And these are the hand drafted things that you do in the first year. The other hand drafted projects. And yeah, that's it. So
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
Niyanta,
You can unshare now.
yeah. Niyanta, do you have any experiences that you would like to share regarding your practice that you have started?
practice that I've started, yes, of course, I have some experiences that I would like to share. It's like it's it was very, very tough for the first 2 months when I started practicing to crack the deals. I thought that okay, I can do it after a year of experience into the job, into the professional world. I thought that I can do it. It's pretty easy. But then when I actually stepped into it and I started doing it on my own, it was very tough to crack deals with the clients. Like the clients are very, very, very demanding. They'll call you 3 times, 4 times, and they'll discuss that I want this like this, I want this like that. But then at the end of the day, they'll be like, no, I don't want to do my project anymore. So there are a lot of different types of clients in the market. So yeah, that is something tough. But of course, slowly and gradually, I managed to crack deals, and now I have 3 projects. I cracked a deal at Mumbai Central that was for a jewelry showroom. So jewelry showroom is something you have to take a lot of things under consideration, like CCTVs, and because it's a highly secured place that you have to make or design. So that was all taken under consideration, and it was a small shop, but the client wanted to make it look big. So I had used a lot of mirror effect into the shop so that the space looks larger than it is. So that is how I did with the jewelry showroom. And then there's a residential place going on in Navi Mumbai. I'm designing that have been just started 2 weeks back, so that is under process. And then I have kindergarten schools going on towards Belgaum. So those are distant projects that I'm designing from here, sending all the details, drawings, which is a very tough job because every detail have to be very, very, very correct, because that is very far away. You have to go up to those. You cannot travel till Belgaum at this current scenario. So you have to make every detail so carefully that there is not a little mess on the site over there, because the workers are working over there. The workers are from their side. I just have to provide them all the detailed drawings for the designs. So yeah, so these are my experiences from right now, the current scenario that I am into.
Yeah, thank you, Niyanta. And let me tell you, Niyanta has been a very outspoken student. So when she says something, she does not mince words. So whatever she was telling you is probably something that has to be taken quite seriously. Thank you, Niyanta, for joining us. I would request Kamane sir has Kamane sir has a little PowerPoint presentation that he wants to show you, and after that, please don't go. We have some issues that I want to take up with you people. Some certain questions, certain clarifications that I want to tell you people about. So if you can just wait a few minutes longer, it would be for your benefit itself. Yeah, Kamane sir.
Yeah, so this is a PPT. As I had said earlier, I'll just run through you in a very detailed steps regarding Amity University. So as you can see, Amity University is across 12 locations in the world. So along with India, it's London, Singapore, New York, San Francisco, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Tashkent, Mauritius, South Africa, and Kenya. And now if we come to India, in India, there are at university 9 places: Gurgaon, Gwalior, Jaipur, Jharkhand, Kolkata, Mumbai, Noida, Patna, and Raipur. So in Mumbai, we are here from 2014-15.
Actually, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, which is in Noida, also has a campus in Lucknow. So we also have Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, a campus in Lucknow, and a campus in Greater Noida as well. So Amity University, UP, has 3 campuses in India, and the campus of Amity University, Dubai, also falls under AUUP. Yeah, we started in 2014, whereas our School of Architecture started in 2015, 1 year after the university started. Yeah.
So this is the Mumbai campus. If any of you have traveled by Super Express Highway from Mumbai to Pune, before the Bhatan Tunnel, you will see this on the left side. From Mumbai to Pune, before Bhatan Tunnel, you will see this campus. Of course, the entry to this campus is not from Super Express. Right now, it is from the old highway, Mumbai-Pune highway. But very soon, we are trying to get the access from Super Express itself. So these are the programs. So many programs are offered in MIT University Mumbai campus. Animation and others. The yellow ones which are highlighted are design schools. So in the design, if you see, is architecture, fashion, fine arts, and interior design. Yeah. So now this is a very quick run through of the subjects that are taught in the 4 years. In the first year, this is semester 1 and semester 2. So as I said earlier, materials, graphic skills, basic design, history of interior design, model making workshop. So 1 and 2, this is the first year. There is no software in the first year, all manual. The software starts from the second year. So in the second year, this is the computer applications where you start learning the software. And along with that, again, the higher part of material, construction, interior services, furniture design, history of architecture, specification and estimating. Yes. Then the third year, it is working drawings, interior services, research, methodology, and case study. Dissertation, electives. Now in this electives, there is electives is something that 1 or 2 of the subjects are given in the class as per your choice. Like it's interior photography or product design or psychology of color. In the next semester, it is interior landscape or set design or sustainable practices in interior design. Then in the 4th year practical training, there is seminar and again 1 more elective. And now this is a specialty of MIT University, which is not there in all the colleges, that there is a subject like minor track. These are common subjects. So minor track, I'll come to you in the next slide. Before that, foreign subject. That means you have to pick up one subject like French, German, or Spanish. Then English is there. And then this is behavioral science. One subject is there. So this is something in addition to the core subjects. Why it is helpful? Because by the time you finish 4 years, you will be very fluent in your English. And also you will be learning 1 more foreign language. So in case, suppose you for masters or any other reason you go in either Europe or some other country, this foreign language comes to your help. Now in minor track is what? Your major certificate is of interior design, but along with that, you also get another certificate, and that is called minor track. So by the time you graduate, finish 4 years and graduate, you have got two certificates with you. One is the interior design certificate, and second one can be of your choice, which you want. It can be fashion technology, business management, human rights, or animation, or English literature, photography, tourism management, film appreciation, social work, political science, economics, fine arts, or industrial safety and resources. So this is an additional advantage. Wherever you either go for a job or for masters, this minor track certificate is an additional certificate that you carry along with your interior design. Now, MIT University has got virtual online computer laboratories. That means the universities which I told you earlier, all these universities are getting linked up as far as the software is concerned. That means you can sit at one place and access any software online, absolutely any software which you want. It may be available either in Noida or Gwalior or Mumbai, and you can access from one position. Even if from your home you want to access, you can access. So that is something very nicely integrated software. So the main advantage of this is that suppose your computer is not very fast and your internet speed is not very fast. Still, you can access this library, work virtually in that computer, save the file, upload it in your Google Drive, and then use it again. It is that simple. You need not even have software on your laptop. You can use the software of the computer laboratories. Similarly, it is virtual online libraries. Along with the hard copy libraries which we have, we also have additional virtual online libraries, which is again integrated similar to the laboratories which I told earlier. All the libraries are integrated and you can read any book, search any book and read any book. Yeah, so this is the list where students are pursuing higher education abroad. So the 2020 batch, this these students have got admissions for masters, and this is the list. Some have gone to UK, some to Italy, some to Canada. So as Shirodkar said at the earlier stage about the 4-year course. So this is possible after 4-year course because this is a professional course, 4-year course. This is not possible if anybody is doing 3-year course because that 3-year course is a vocational course. Now this is graduates employed already, people who are finished the course and have employed in this. They are employed in these offices. Some are out of India, some are in Saudi Arabia. This particular student is in IKEA. He did an internship also in IKEA, Dubai, and now he is doing job in IKEA, Kuwait. Oh, so this is our campus, in Mumbai campus. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so this is about the, now I would like to quickly show you one very nice portfolio, which final year student, it's not the whole portfolio, but it's a book. It's a kind of a summary of their project, which is done in one sheet. A kind of a summary which is each student has to submit after the project is completed. So let me share that.
सोचा कहाँ था
So such a book is produced by every batch, and that is kept in the library. Yeah, now I guess we should take some questions now.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of questions that are there in the chat box or in the question box. Diksha Ahmed has asked both of the questions. That is what I have already answered the other question, by the way. What if we like more than one elective? Diksha, the thing is, in every semester we have one elective. We have a basket of electives, 3 or 4 electives in a basket, where you have to choose one. So depending on the number of students, normally if there are more than 10 students, we offer that elective. If there are less than 10 students, we normally ask them to merge with any other elective. So though we say it is a matter of choice, but then if there is only one student or 2 students, of course, it's not feasible to offer that elective. But then if in that basket you like 2 electives that you cannot, then you will have to learn from your classmates. But then in elective 1 and elective 2, elective 1 may have one basket, elective 2 is another basket. So you have to select just one elective from those. If you like both the electives, you can sit for the class, you can attend that, we don't mind, but then that does not come on your mark sheet. On the mark sheet, there is only one elective that comes in there. And you have to submit your assignments only from one selected elective. But we don't prevent the students from sitting in the electives for the other class, if you want to. The other question was, do we have a student exchange program? As of now, we do not have a student exchange program as such, but Amity actually runs what is called as a 3C program or a 3-continent program for the other schools, especially management and fashion and so on. But unfortunately, we can't do a 3-continent program because in a 3-continent program, the students learn for a semester in 3 different continents where Amity's presence is there. The problem is, of all the other campuses abroad, only Dubai has architecture and interior design. So obviously, we cannot run the 3-continent program for us. But as far as student exchange program is concerned, unfortunately, we do not have one as of now. Right. I hope I have answered that. I'll still take corollaries to the question if there are any. Before that, I'll ask Sania's question. She says she's planning to do a bachelor's in architecture and master's in interior design. Since she wants to take interior design as a career, but do you suggest that I do my bachelor's in interior designing itself? Now, Sania, the thing is, if you're already focused on doing interior designing as a career, then spending 5 years is foolish. Because interior designing is a 4-year course, architecture is a 5-year course. And if you do not want to pursue architecture tomorrow, you can very well do 4 years of interior designing. Secondly, even when you finish interior design, a 4 years professional course, I'm saying, if you finish a 4 years professional course, later on, you can still take up different avenues that are available. You can go into management, you can do an MBA degree, you can do a law degree, you can do all the courses that are offered by NID, National Institute of Design. That is, you have product design, you have transportation design, video and film design, and so on and so forth. You have product design and industrial design and visual communication, as they call it. All those courses are open to you because a bachelor's in interior design degree is an eligible qualification for all these PG degrees. So instead of wasting a year doing architecture, which is a 5-year course, if you're already focused and already want to do interior designing as a career, then my suggestion would be don't go in for architecture, go in for interior designing. You still have plenty of creative courses open to you for PG, except fashion, because fashion starts from the first year itself. You can't just go in and do a PG in fashion designing like that. Right? Other design courses are all open to you. Okay. Shruti asked a question, what is more effective, interior designing or architecture? Now, this is a trick question. Basically, I would say that it depends on your call. What do you want to do tomorrow? Let me be very frank. I'm an architect, no doubt, but then today the scene, as far as architecture is concerned, is a little too dicey. especially in the last 1.5 years, it's becoming more and more dicier. A lot less projects coming our way, and there are a lot of big shots, big sharks in the field. Secondly, in architecture, let me put it very simple. हर family अपना घर एक ही बार बनाती है at the most. There may be very few people who may be going in for a second house. Whereas, as far as interiors is concerned, let's say even if you buy a flat, in your lifetime you might redesign that flat maybe twice or thrice as well. So you understand what I'm trying to say. It's almost like a practicing physician and maybe a dentist. A dentist can attend to 32 teeth, right? So that is why a dental course is a specialized course for 4 years, whereas you just have a medical course that you have for 5 years, whereas dentistry is separate. So, same thing here. We have planning, we have architecture, and we have interior designing in that order. Planning is at the macro level, where they design towns and townships and towns or cities. We have architecture after that, which comes down to building scale. And then we have interior, which comes down to a micro scale, which talks only about the interior spaces. So it is your call now. I can't specify whether it is interior designing that is more effective or architecture. It depends on the individual's liking. But if you do architecture, you can practice as an interior designer. If you do interior designing, you cannot practice as an architect. That is very, very clear. Then after that, Diksha has asked another question. Is there any license that we need to prepare for interior designing? And will the faculty help with it? Interior designing as of today has no licensing, no control of any professional body. Though there is an Institute of Indian Interior Designers, but you need not be a registered member of that to practice. As against in architecture, where you are regulated by the Council of Architecture, and to practice as an architect, you have to take the membership. You have to be, registered with the Council of Architecture. There is nothing like that as present. There are talks at the government level that we should regulate the profession of interior designing also. But as of present, there is no licensing required to practice as an interior designer, at least in India. Okay, then there are, I think, a couple of questions in the chat box. Let me just check. Well, most of the questions initially were for the YouTube link. I'd asked my IT department to share it with you because it is live on YouTube. You'll have to just find it out. It's available or not. I'll take up the other questions. After 12th, this is from Ruchita. After 12th, she wants to pursue a career in interior designer. Should I opt for a diploma or degree? Which is best? But I have a financial problem. Now, Ruchita, this is once again something which I should be a diploma from where? And a diploma after 12th has no meaning because you already wasted 2 years. If you wanted to go in for a diploma, it should have been done after the 10th. And do not go in for a diploma or even for a degree from institutes which do not even know where your university is. There are certain institutes here which are giving degrees from universities in the south or in the northeast, where we don't even know whether that university really exists. So it is always better to take a degree from a recognized university rather than from any of these institutes. I'm not going to name the institutes, but there are many around you that are offering such courses, promising degrees, but then those degrees have no meaning because the universities might not exist at all. So be very careful, and those diplomas cannot, with that diploma, you cannot do a post-graduation at all. Okay. Sakshi has asked a question as to can she practice after, I don't get it. Can I practice my 2 years of bachelor's degree in interior design? Okay, can you study 2 years of...
I think Shirodkar sir has lost connection. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. The question was whether you can start practice after 2 years.
No,
Actually,
The question is whether she can do 2 years in India and for next 2 years in Dubai. Whether she can change the admission from your shift from here to Dubai is.
Yeah.
Understand
Yeah.
the question correctly?
Yes. Shifting is possible. We have got students that is called lateral admission.
Yeah.
So we have got students who have come from Dubai to India. 2 students have come. Similarly, that is also possible from India to Dubai, provided you do not keep any KTs. You clear all the subjects, then it's very easily possible. There was a question by Arya. MET has BVOC or B design. This course is called Bachelor of Interior Design. As we told earlier, this is a 4-year course. So it's a professional course. It is under UGC and also AICTE. So the courses which are 3 years or 3-year courses, they are under UGC but not AICTE because they are not technical. They are not considered as technical courses. So ours is a 4-year course. So it's a technical course. So what is the advantage? Advantage is that after this 4-year course, you can do masters also. It is eligible. You are eligible to do masters in many different things, like maybe in product design or furniture design or anything else. And you can, and this your bachelor's degree is, approved and recognized all over world abroad also. So after 4 years, you can actually invest 1 year or 2 year in masters. Some people go to Italy, do 1-year course. Some people go to USA, do 2-year course. So all that is possible here.
Yeah, I just like to put in a word here that Amity University's degree is a 4-year degree course. It is a professional degree. It's not vocational degree. BVOC is vocational degree, which is a 3-year course. So, and if you want to pursue masters abroad, you need to do a 4-year degree course here in India so that you are eligible for a master's in a master's abroad. So this course makes you eligible for masters anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I guess there was one question which was probably not answered. Somebody was asking link for YouTube, right? So I just talked to the IT person, our IT president here, Mr. Chetan. He said the department will be uploading the link in YouTube in 2 days time. Okay, so there's a process. They will be checking everything and then uploading. So you can go to YouTube and search for Amity University Mumbai channel, and you will get this recording of today's. After 2 days, not immediately.
I'm back.
Yeah.
There is another question from Shruti where she says, is it mandatory to study masters? Can we just study BID and apply for jobs?
Yes.
You answered that?
No.
Okay.
So you can
So see, yes. So the thing is, Shruti, there is no need to do masters anytime at all for any degree. If you can get a job after graduation, there is no problem at all. So masters is basically now what the world is going through. So there are people who are insisting on a master's degree after graduation. So we are keeping our options open. So if you do, let's say, if I say a BVOC degree, which is 3 years, a 3 years BVOC degree basically does not entail you to do a master's degree at all, because a BVOC degree is supposed to be a skill development degree. And if you need to do a master's degree after a BVOC, it defeats the purpose of BVOC degree itself. Because in that case, BVOC has failed. Because BVOC is to develop your skills. So similarly, we are keeping our options open. If any student wants to do a master's degree, you can very well do one after a BID. If you can get a job, you can do a job, no need for a master's at all. Or just like Niyanta is doing, if you can set out and start your own consultancy, if you're good enough, there is no need for a master. No one asks you whether you are even a graduate. If you can deliver the goods, good enough. No one has anything to say after that. Okay, then there's another one from Sakshi Midgaonkar. What about the books and stationery material that you will be needing for BID? Will the list be given by the professors themselves when the academic session starts? Obviously, Sakshi, we do that after the session starts. Right now, you're jumping in front of your card, so don't worry. When the time comes, everything will be provided. There is no need for any books at all. Library is good enough, and if you have Google, I don't think you need anything else. Right. So I think, talk to you about a bachelor's degree vis-a-vis the BVOC course that is run by the other universities. A 3 years Bachelor of Vocational course is not at all equivalent to what we have in BID, and it is certainly not an eligibility to do any professional post-graduation course after BVOC. Let it be very, very clear. Right. Then there is another question coming up. What is the fee structure of Amity University, Mumbai, if you want to take admission after 12? The fee structure differs, Ruchita, from course to course. For architecture, it is 1 lakh plus per semester. For interior design, it is around 69 or 70,000 per semester. So you'll have to check that out. We also give scholarships to students. The scholarship rates on admission scholarship. We have 2 levels of scholarships. One is an on-admission scholarship, which is given to students with a certain cutoff percentage at 12th. So you have 25%, 50% or 100% scholarship. The admissions department will tell you that. After that, we have merit scholarship, where you have to be among the top 3 students to get merit scholarship, depending on the total number of students in your class also. But that also depends. If you have an on-admission scholarship, that will be continued. But of course, keep in mind that scholarship is not a matter of right. It is given by Amity. Similarly, Amity has been compassionate enough to take up the fee load of all those students whose sole earning member has passed away due to COVID. Amity probably must be one of the very, very few institutes where the Amity Foundation or the Amity Trust has taken up the responsibility of paying the fees of all the students, of course, after all the documentation is done and all the conditions are fulfilled. All the remaining fees of students whose sole earning member has passed away due to COVID, and there is no other member who's earning in the house. The mother is a housewife or has no job or whatever it is. So Amity has been compassionate enough to float that program as well. What are the total fees for the whole degree? Wow, Vichita, I can't tell you what it is going to be like 4 years from now. Right now it is 70,000, around 70,000 per semester. All the other institutes normally increase their fees by 10% per year. And one thing that is good about Amity that I would like to mention here is we do not take anything in cash, nothing. Even your exam fees are in cash, whatever penalties that may be there because of late payment or whatever it may be, even they are not accepted in cash at all. It is either by account transfer or on Amazon. We have an intranet service which is called Amazon. Everything is accessible from there. Even your attendance is accessible from there. Your parents can also monitor your attendance from there as well. All your marks are also there. Power failure once again. I don't know whether I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
audible.
You're audible.
Okay.
Yeah, you can switch off the
Okay, good.
video because it is showing bandwidth is low.
No, there is no power actually.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I think we're working on standby power. Okay. So there are other questions. How many semesters are there? Which is, I think Ramani sir already showed you that BID is a 4-year, 8-semester program. Of which one semester is professional training, where you can get a stipend from the office where you're doing your internship. Right. Then there are a few other things that I wanted to talk to you about. The question that you might ask is, let's say, why should we take admission to Amity? How is Amity better than other universities? See, frankly speaking, we are a new university. we are still gaining our strength. If you compare us to all the set university, for example, if you say tomorrow you compare us to the interior design program of Rachna Sansad is ages old. Probably Rachna Sansad was there, or the interior design program was there even when we were studying. So you don't compare apples with oranges, but I would be happy to tell you that I have a fantastic mix of faculty members here. So that reminds me, I haven't introduced myself. I am Professor Abhijit Shirodkar, the director of Amity School of Architecture and Planning here since 2015, with about 35 plus years of experience both in academics and practice. And I would like to say it here, as I said, that I'm extremely proud of the probably it is one of the most fantastic mix amongst the new institutions that we have. We have almost 6 professors, of which 3 are full-time and 3 are part-time. Part-time in the sense they come 3 days out of 5. So 6 professors with over 35 years of experience. I don't think any other institute can boast of that. We have a good many faculty members at the intermediate stage, that is of around 10 plus years of experience. And we also have faculty who have about 5 to 10 years of experience as well. So that is the sort of mix that we have. We have just about no freshers. I mean, no one with no experience or only 1 or 2 years of experience, no one. All our faculty are roughly around 4 or 5 years experience plus, or PG plus maybe 3 or 4 years of experience, as much as that. So that is the faculty strength that I have. So I just cannot say that we are better or worse than the other universities. If you compare oranges with oranges, yes, we are one of the topmost institutes. If we compare it to the age of the institute, we are good. And we don't promise anything to our students. At the school level, we don't. As a matter of fact, even when I took over during the first batch, we told our students, you are our guinea pigs, we'll be experimenting with you. And we have certainly experimented with them. The only promise that we made to our students was, by the time you graduate, we'll ensure that you will be able to stand on your own feet. And we have succeeded in that promise. We have students who are doing extremely well. If we consider that we have only a couple of batches, the second batch has just passed out for architecture and interior design. Effectively, interior design is the third batch, but in the first batch there was only one student who gave his thesis finally. The other students gave it the next year. So effectively, we have just 2 batches of interior design students and 2 batches of architecture students who have passed out, and 1 batch of planning students. Aditya is asking us how many months or date the first year will commence for the 2021. We are commencing in August, by the way, Aditya. We'll be starting the first year from mid-August. Can you tell us the approximate total fees for degree in interior design? That is seriously something that I cannot tell you right now. Tentatively, as a thumb rule, you can say you can multiply 70,000 by 8 semesters. It must be around 5,60,000. But this is only a tentative estimate, considering that today's fees will be continued throughout your 8 semesters. It can vary, but this is only the tuition fees, 8 semesters into around 70,000 per semester. This does not include the hostel fees at all. This is only the tuition fees. And this is just a rough idea that I'm giving you. Right. Any other questions? And finally, let's say interior designing is something which, compared to the other fields, is something that gives you tremendous job satisfaction. So does architecture. It is something where when you see your creation just standing around you, or when you are standing in your creation, the joy and the pleasure that it gives you, and the joy and the pleasure and the satisfaction that it gives you when your client is happy with whatever you have done for him, there is no other pleasure as good as that. Okay. Ruchita is still asking questions. Are government institutions good or private ones for interior design? Ruchita, the thing is very simple. Government institutions are government institutions. Their fees are pretty low. But then private institutions can upgrade themselves extremely fast. I can tell you that if I want to upgrade my syllabus, I can do it theoretically overnight. If there is another new subject to be added, I can add the new subject right from the next semester itself. In government institutions, that takes years and years. So apart from the fees, government institutions, you know how they work. I don't have to put that down in print or in words. There are recordings going on. And I don't say that all government institutions work the same way. There are some really very good government institutions. Even IITs, for example, are government institutions. So is the Institute of Science, which is the topmost institute in the world, maybe science for science right now. The IISc Bangalore for pure sciences. Okay. So are there any other questions? Yeah, Sachin, I think have you answered that? Sir, when will the first year commence? I've answered that. Then Punjab government announced for universities to open with some conditions. Any information when the courses will start in Amity, Mohali? No answer to that question. Amity Mohali has started recently, but I do not know when the classes would start or when the campus would open. I have no idea as far as that is concerned. You can put that down on our website and contact us, put that question. I think someone from Amity head office would be able to answer that. As far as Amity Mumbai is concerned, we wait for the Maharashtra government instructions to start physical classes. We cannot start physical classes until and unless the state government gives us permission to start. What are the admission procedures for 4-year degree course in Amity University? I think our admission department should get back to you. It is there on the website. You have to fill in a form which is there on the microsite, Amity site itself, and then the admission department gets back to you. You have to submit a statement of purpose, a 1-minute video where you have to submit a statement of purpose, and then admission department will follow it up with you. You fill in the application form, and since COVID started last year and this year, we have kept all application forms free of cost. Initially, before that, we used to charge 1100 rupees for application fees, but since last year, we are not charging any fees for application to any course in Amity. Diksha says if we start interning from the second year itself, get into professional field, is that possible? In the sense, do you say that you're going to leave after second year? You better don't. Better complete your graduation and then leave. My advice to everyone, even my daughters, was at least complete one graduation. That is better anytime. That would help you anytime tomorrow. Don't leave your study in between without doing your graduation. You can get into the professional field. You can start interning. That will help you in your academics. We did part-time jobs when we were students. That helps you immensely in your academics. But do not leave academics in the middle. Complete at least one graduation. Let me be very, very clear. You will understand the importance of that later on in life. What about internships that will be provided? Yes, we have a very, very robust training and placement cell. We call it CRC, Corporate Resource Center. But unfortunately, what we have, our experiences so far is, and mind you, I am in academics since the past over 30 years now. Architecture and interior design students as such have not required any help from training and placement. There are so many jobs available that we do not need to place any students. And the only drawback is our training and placement department places students, and then we find out that the students are not willing to take it up because, especially in Mumbai, it is a question of Western line wale Central line mein job nahi karte, Central line wale Harbour line pe job nahi karte. And the admissions, the CRC cannot take care of all these things. Right, so we do getting internships. We do have a full register of people who are offering internships and even placements. But I don't think you might like it because it may not be close to your house. You may not like to travel. You may not like that office or whatever. Okay. Then what are there any upcoming webinars regarding interior design field? Oh, yeah, Ruchita, I'll ask my admission departments to keep you people also in the loop whenever we have a webinar. We normally send them a webinar poster whenever we have one. So in case we have one now, we'll send it to admissions and we'll ask them to WhatsApp the posters to you people as well, or mail them to you. Anything else? Lovely.
Now I think Isha can conclude.
Yes, I think there are no other questions. So if there are none, I think Isha can take over.
Yeah. So thank you very much for helping the students. It's really going to be a great deal for them in making the right choices for their career. I remember when I was a student, I never had any such guides, any such mentors to guide me. And I was just lost all alone in the field and had to wander myself around and try to find my answers. I think Abhijit sir, Tamane sir, Anuradha ma'am have really been very kind enough to help us uh, solve the queries and clear the doubts in the minds of the students, their parents, their guardians. Thank you so much, sir. So at the end of the seminar, I would like to thank all the dignitaries present here. I would also like to thank all the young aspiring designers who have been present over here. Looking forward to you guys at Amity. I would also like to thank the existing second year students, Srushti, Afzal Khan, and Pranali Fate. Also our alumni, Niyanta Mehta. Thank you so much for removing the time out. I know she has been doing very great and we are indeed proud of her. And I hope our students continue doing that. Thank you so much for being present and giving the valuable time for this particular seminar.